Hey there, boys and girls. It's Ralph Garman here. Listen, if you like Hollywood Babble-On, I think there's an excellent chance that you would like The Ralph Report, my daily podcast, Monday through Friday. Not to mention, if you sign up now as a 4-star general supporter to The Ralph Report, you get full access to the entire back catalog of Hollywood Babble-On. A decade of Hollywood Babble-On at your fingertips for being a 4-star supporter of The Ralph Report. Want to sign up? You can find The Ralph Report on Patreon.com. Just go to www.patreon.com/The Ralph Report and sign up today.
Hey, New Jersey, Jay and Silent Bob are coming home. See Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes as they present the 10th anniversary episode of Jay and Silent Bob Get Old at the Bellworks Drive-In in Homedale, New Jersey, September 18th. Tickets and info at csmod.com.
It's time to babble the fuck on. It's Hollywood Babble-On with your hosts, Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman.
It is another in a long, endless series of nights at home. So let's babble the fuck on. I'm Kevin Smith.
I'm Ralph Garman.
Oh, welcome back, kids. We're about to do it again. We're going to watch TV and talk about it.
Yeah.
This is a dream job.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? Imagine I want to send you, old man Ralph, back in time to meet young man Ralph, who's dressed up in the Batman costume that his mom made for him.
Yes.
And tell him one day he's going to make a living talking about Batman.
Hey, kid, how'd you like this job? You get to watch Batman and talk about it with your pal.
You're like, can I be Robin instead? And they're like, no, kid. I came here. I thought you'd be impressed by this.
Come on.
We were talking about it on our podcast, and you've ruined it now. Ugh. Look at how big your balls get, and then you show him your balls and get the fuck out of there, because that'll really fuck with his head.
I don't know if I want to show me my own balls.
Why? It's not gross or weird.
No.
It's you showing you.
It's a kid. He's a kid.
But it's you as a kid.
I know he's a me kid, but he's still a kid.
I'm not saying you fucked a kid. That would be gross and wrong. But you just going like, look at how big your balls get.
All right. Then he'd say, what's a podcast? I'll say, shut up.
You know, like so much to teach you. Oh, my God, you could gird that motherfucker. You're like, you know what? I was coming back here to tell you you do a fucking podcast about Batman, but now that I've come back,
buy Apple stock.
Yeah, here's how you become fucking king emperor of the world. Here are all the secrets. Fuck. I'm going to change the course of this bitch. I'm going to biff this up. Here's the fucking almanac, kid. Stop watching Batman. Fucking, you can be president. Seriously, you can be president.
I hunt down a young Kevin Smith in New Jersey and say, here, I'm going to write you a check. Make this movie. It's called Clerks. Keep your comic books.
Thanks, mister. You want to show me your balls? You're like, no, that'd be gross and weird. I'm like, but we become partners later on. I don't even show you them balls then. It is
look at how much weed you have on your desk. I just noticed. Jesus God.
Yeah, well, those two
like
giant
bales.
bags. I thought you were working a bit, and I was like, yeah, that's it. Jump into character. But you're literally looking
trash bags full of weed on your desk.
Well, don't tell everybody. But yes, there is a Scarface amount of weed.
People might know you smoke weed.
I know. I don't want them to.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to let the
I don't
cat
want
out
to
of
be
the bag.
judgy and shit. Oh, fine. All right, kids. I smoke weed. Here we go. And now all that weed on my desk is gone. I know it's a huge amount, isn't it?
It's comical.
When you walk into the office, even though it's in gallon Ziploc bags, you can smell it.
Yes.
That's kind of nice. It's funny. When I was a kid and I watched like movies where people smoke weed and stuff, I was never like, that's for me.
No.
And then only in my late 30s was I like, why aren't I not stoned? And then it never stopped, Ralph.
That's why you never
12 years of stoner.
That's why you never know what's around the next turn, Kevin.
It's so true, right?
So it's important to wake up every day because you never know what that day may hold.
What a fucking adventure it's been.
Yeah.
And what an adventure it could continue to be. We had a little bit of adventure today together and yesterday. It sounds fucking way more homoerotic than I meant it. Me and Ralph We're thespians together.
Yeah, we were.
Got into that hot, hardcore thespian
We
action.
fezzed out.
Oh, fuck. It was amazing.
We're all fezzy.
Josh Roush is directing a picture called Wrong Reasons. Livy Roush is in it. Ralph is, it's fair to say, the lead.
I'm number 2 on the call sheet.
Who's number 1?
Liv's character is
Adorable.
Well,
I guess she's in the whole fucking picture.
The story's about her.
It really is.
Yeah.
But weirder still is, I've been on the picture for 2 days. I have a very bit part. Scandalously small part. I don't know if it's some sort of statement on my performance abilities, but
How's that feel?
really,
How's that feel? One of your pals puts you in a tiny little part in his movie.
At least I got lines, bitch. I don't know what happened to you on Red State. Apparently somebody didn't have enough confidence in you.
I got a few lines in Reboot.
That's true. 1 or 2.
1 or 2.
It was wonderful watching you ply your craft, your trade, the thing that brought you out here.
Good to stretch those muscles again. I was a little nervous going in. Just
You're like, I've forgotten how to lie.
Really? I mean,
fuck?
if you haven't done it for a while, it's like
You're a world-class liar. How could you ever forget?
that's true.
Felt good.
Yeah, and a role of that size that actually has an arc to it and a bunch of stuff to play. It's
You were a raider of that lost ark, man.
well done.
Fucking A.
This goes to what we were saying before. You never know what life has in store for you, right? Who would think at this stage in my life and career that I would get a leading role in a motion picture? I mean, guys like me don't usually get the opportunity to play leads without having done it before and
Or
without being
having to put a fucking dick in your mouth.
right, or without being a name. I mean, obviously only in a
That's a thing they probably don't talk about out here, where they're like, the fucking shame, the scandal of middle-aged to older men eating dick for roles. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, to talk all about it.
I think
Dr. Josh Roush went from a guy who worked for us to a guy that one of us has tasted in order to get a fucking job.
I think anyone who would be interested in that trade-off would probably go for something younger and more attractive than me. Quite frankly,
He's got a kink. He's punk rock.
He likes the daddy scene.
He's just like, look, it's got to be weird for me. I like the strange. Carol O'Connor, the role that defined him, he received so fucking late in life,
There
and
are
he played it for
exceptions that
13
prove
years.
the rule.
You could be the next Archie Bunker, is what I'm getting at.
Television, I think, lends itself to that more than feature films. I mean,
Let me tell you something right now. I promise. If I ever get a fucking TV show, you're a regular. Maybe you're a wacky neighbor. Maybe you're a detective buddy. Maybe you're a guy with a chimp. I don't know, but you're.
please let me be the guy with the chimp.
Look, maybe it's all three. I'm working this out as
I'm
I
a
go.
detective. My partner's a chimp, and I live next door.
There it is.
There
So
we go.
periodically, you just jump into the storyline with something like really dramatic. Like it's always a murders in the Rue Morgue kind of story because you got the monkey. It turns out your monkey partner commits all the crimes. But we only see
Cheech, put down that axe.
we only see like 2 minutes of an hour-long fucking drama in the midst of this show when you pop over and shit. The music changes. It gets all intense and you have your big Perry Mason speech moment. Me and Ralph been talking about Perry Mason for a few weeks. He likes it.
Loved it.
He loves it. And
Loved
I
it.
was awfully baffled, because I'm like, Perry Mason's a fucking lawyer. Who's this guy running around acting like a PI? I don't want to watch
God.
no private dick show. I came to see a lawyer. I want a goddamn lawyer.
You're the guy at Batman Begins goes, Batman's not a little kid. He wears a cape and a mask. What's going on here?
You ain't kidding. The most wasted time in cinema is all that fucking shit they show you before the hero puts on the mask.
Origin stories, son.
Just start from the mask and we're good.
Oh, my God.
Regardless, I'm fucking putting the time in on Perry Mason, just searching for the fucking thing that lit Ralph's soul on fire, and finally found it in episode 5. Spoilers, when he becomes a lawyer, and I'm like, yeah. Now that's the show. Now
the
it's 3
era,
hours.
the 30s, Los Angeles, and all that stuff.
Seemed
I just,
expensive.
I eat it up.
Awfully
I
expensive.
eat that up with a spoon. That world.
Think about, like, you tell me, hey, you're going to do a modern day take on Perry Mason. I'd be like, oh my God, this is going to be like so cheap because we're going to be in a courtroom the whole time. we're always going to be in the courtroom. If not, I'll be in my office or something like that. Oh my God, this is a 2-set show. This is going to be fantastic. We need, I don't know, $1.05 per episode. We're good, RDJ. You and your lady, you tell HBO we don't need that much money. Kev Smith's version, man. But no, this version is like, look at him in the war. Look at Hollywood in the 30s.
Flying down to brothels in Mexico.
Fucking priest. Look at the Las Vegas of Mexico. Spending a lot of money to get to the fucking. And finally, at the end of episode 5, they swear him as a lawyer, and he's going to be the fucking lawyer for the next 3 episodes. And I'm like, all right, well, it's 8 episodes total. Took him 5 to get to the obvious point. I could have done it in half an episode. But whatever. I ain't saying I'd do it better. I'm just saying that's what I would have preferred. I'm not good at that shit either. But
it's not your dad's Perry Mason, man.
It really isn't. It really wasn't.
That's the point.
My dad flat out told me the name Della Street. He was like, that's Della Street. That's his Robin. That's how he described it, to keep it on brand, when I was a child. Della Street is Perry Mason's Robin. And I didn't even like Perry Mason. Well, of course. Everything has to be put through a comic book filter. Your mother, she's like my Robin. You are like your brother's Robin.
Everybody's Robin.
When you
didn't he know any other characters?
He's like,
couldn't anybody be Alfred?
That's all I could handle. He's like, he only understands
like
number
Robin.
2.
Your mother's like Robin. Your brother's like Robin.
When you go poop in the potty, that's like Robin.
Like Robin.
Number 2. Yes.
You should have thrown him an issue once in a while so he could have boned up.
He was, you know what? My old man was okay with throwing around Robin.
Yeah. Ask him Robin.
Not only just as an aspirative term, like, yeah, that's who you are, Robin, but as a reductive term as well, Ralph.
Easy. You're not Batman. You're Robin.
His version of stay in your lane, son. Like, there's only so many Batmans in this world, but plenty of room for Robins.
You're in the passenger seat.
So when I was watching that, I thought of my old man. When he finally became a lawyer, when Della Street was like, oh, and she pulls out the typewriter and writes that letter and says, like, he was always training to be a lawyer. And fucking take me back to the 30s. How easy was it to be a lawyer?
Here's a little piece of trivia for you, Kevin.
Here's a fucking letter that a dead guy wrote. Congratulations, you're a lawyer.
You can still become a lawyer that way today.
What?
Yes. That's how Kim Kardashian's becoming a lawyer. She is interning at her own lawyer's office, and then she's going to eventually take the bar here in California because she wants to be a lawyer.
And that's allowed?
Yes. You don't have to go to law school. You just have to pass the bar.
I could do this if I wanted to.
You would have to actually intern at a legal firm. You would have to work in the office for X number of period of time.
Or as my father would say, you would be Robin to the lawyer.
And then if you take the bar and you pass it, welcome, sir.
That's nuts. How do you know that? You researched it after you watched the show and you're like, bullshit.
Because Kim Kardashian said, I'm not going to go to law school. I'm just going to work in my lawyer's office, and then I'm eventually going to take the bar, and I'm going to be a lawyer. And I'm like, that's fucking nuts. You can't be a lawyer without going to law school.
And then it turns out you were schooled by Kim Kardashian.
And then I did a little research. I was like, fuck. Who wants Kim Kardashian to be their lawyer? First, I said.
That's what you would get to? The first thing I would have thought is, apparently I'm not as smart as Kim Kardashian. I'm the Robin to Kim Kardashian.
How dare you?
Speaking of Robin, what goes on in this episode, this pair of episodes, this duo of rhyming episodes that we'll be watching of Batman 66?
Is perhaps Burt Ward's finest hour. This is a very Robin-centric and Dick-centric.
Whoa, fucking so hot.
So hot. A couple of episodes.
That's why I showed up tonight.
2 episodes of Dick.
Some of that Dick-centric fucking video.
Because the clown prince of crime, the Joker, infiltrates young Dick Grayson's high school. Woodrow Roosevelt High School.
That could be fun. That sounds like the plot of the new Batman movie. Yes. Real insidious and fucking dark, like he's fucking infiltrated the high school.
And he's
going after boys.
He's trying to recruit members for his
Nirvana
gang.
Song playing in the background.
So Dick Grayson looms large in this episode, as does his alter ego, Robin the Boy Wonder. But we get a lot of Dick in this one. Dick goes undercover.
Dick Unleashed in this episode.
Indeed.
Dick Grayson is Dick Raisin. And I don't mean raising Dick. I mean he's raising the dicks.
Yes.
In this episode, what you're saying, Ralph, is that Robin is the Batman.
Robin is the Robin to Dick Grayson in this one. Dick
Grayson is the Batman.
Yes. Well, not really, because Batman sends him undercover. Pretty much endangering his ward's life, actually, by putting him undercover with this bunch of ne'er-do-wells.
Every time he fucking opens that bookcase,
that's true.
He's putting that poor boy in fucking trouble and shit. But this is the moment where a boy becomes a man. Fair to say that this is the bar mitzvah episode.
Yes.
Of Batman 66.
Shalom. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov, indeed. Today, Dick becomes a man. Yeah. I was going to make a bris joke, but that's earlier in life.
Yes, that's almost after birth.
If they were to give you a bris at your
yikes
bar mitzvah, today you're something less of a man. We're going to take a little off of you, and somehow that's going to make more of you.
It would not be a party.
You know what? If anything, that deserves a party.
Yes.
Never mind, like, hey, you're 12 or 13. Like, we all get there. You deserve a party if you're like, stand there. Take this. Ah! Now that. You see what I've cut off? See that little flesh I cut off? That's the Robin to your dick. And that's the only way I'd understand it. All right, Ralph. As per usual, our guide throughout Gotham City, in this incarnation of Gotham City, is the great Ralph Garman himself, who has forgotten more about Batman 66 than most of us will ever know. Episode 15 of season 1, ladies and gentlemen. Line it up. I am pressing play now, and I will tell you exactly when shit gets real. And why aren't you playing, you fucking... Oh, fuck, it just started. Fuck, I got too anxious, and then I jumped the gun. Come on, fucker. What kind of weak... Batman!
In color.
Fucking right, it's in color, man. Look at that. Look at all the colors. That's definitely a backlot. Look at this fucking... That's so weird.
Those are the main offices at Fox. When you first go into Fox lot, right off the driveway there.
It's right there.
Main offices, yeah.
It's so weird, the fact that when you first mentioned, like, all the stock footage is from the 50s and shit, is when I, like, finally realized, oh, my God, everything they show us is bullshit. It's all artifice. Now, what's this all about? Who's this guy looking longingly at Dick Grayson?
That's one of his fellow members of the basketball team. There's little Susie, the cheerleader. Donna Lauren is the actress. Oh, man, did I crush hard on her.
This is like, these teenagers are like the kids in Greece. They're all 30, mid-30s or something like that. You think you get on the show, you're happy. Of course. Any job's a great job, particularly as a high-profile show at this point. But do you think you're like, oh, man, I got cast as a cheerleader as opposed to, like, one of the Riddler's Mall or something? I'm not going to fall into the atomic pile.
Yeah, I assume. Well, look, I think you get a gig on a national television show, you got to be happy, right? They can't all be leads or guest stars. Sometimes you got to be the cheerleader.
Is that a real thing? Did they just give out milk and machines back in the day?
Yeah, milk machine, sure. But look what's in the milk machine. Milk doesn't come out, silver dollars.
Oh my God, these girls are going to be rich.
They
don't even need school anymore.
That is the Joker's point, Kevin. By showing them the easy street of ill-gotten gains, he's telling them to drop out and join his gang.
Oh my God, look how those guys are running over there as if like someone's giving out blowjobs.
Not a black guy on the basketball team either, by the way, there at Woodrow Roosevelt.
So strange. I would have never noticed that.
Yeah. And
now I'm looking at a shot with 3 white guys in it, and I'm like, this looks like the basketball team in high school. This is I'm a young Kevin Smith sitting there watching this.
Yeah.
So bored already.
Oh my God.
So bored. Why are they showing me boys and girls in school? I could see that every day of my fucking life.
I didn't see girls look like those cheerleaders at my school in those short skirts.
They look better. They look younger.
Oh man.
Like more our age appropriate and shit. Even as a young child, I'm watching this. I'm going like, that cheerleader's as old as Chief O'Hara. Hands down. Clearly. She's like maybe 2 years off from Commissioner Gordon. She's almost
Stop
going
it.
gray.
She's a young, nubile, young cheerleader.
Why did they think they couldn't share actual teenagers with us? I mean, labor laws probably, but just age up like a little bit. Like get a 19, 20-year-old to play a 17-year-old.
Maybe they wanted some actors with more experience.
Or are they playing it up like, there's no real... Is there ever a kid in this show?
Yeah.
Who?
In the Shane episode. Shame, come back, Shame. Little kid with the transistor radio.
Right.
Who worships Batman. Yeah.
That's it?
Maybe a couple other episodes.
For a show that, was
Wayne
aimed
Foundation. First mention of Wayne Foundation.
in this episode?
Yeah, they just did it.
Who's this Lloyd?
He's trying to get...
I'm trying to fuck your aunt. He's like, well, she's not my aunt.
He's trying to get Bruce Wayne to run for mayor of Gotham City.
Oh. He's like, why would I enter politics? I'm a fucking millionaire.
Exactly. He's like, I can do more good for Gotham with the Wayne Foundation than I can being mayor.
Yeah, no doubt.
Not to mention, I like to dress up as a bat and kick people's ass.
He's like, look, if I'm mayor, I got to play it by the rules. But as Bruce Wayne,
I make the rules.
Yeah, I could bend into or break those fucking rules in an effort to help people.
Yep.
And I do that even at night in a costume.
I may have said too much.
No, now she's like, they're gone. Take it out.
Stop.
That's what old people do when they get together and by themselves.
Is it?
Yes. I'm fucking 50. How old do you think Aunt Harriet is in the show?
She's got to be 70.
You think she's 20 years older than me?
Got to be.
All right, fair enough. So 20 years from now, I'm 70 years old. I'm an old person.
You're pulling your dick out to old ladies when you're sitting there.
Not unasked for, but like fucking, if that's, me and my wife, I'm like, all right, they're gone. Look at it. Take a peek at it. Maybe not showing. I'm not more of a shower. I'm not even a grower, but I'm just saying when old people are alone, Ralph,
I'm not inviting you to my house and leaving the room then.
Their thoughts turn to
Metamucil.
Yeah, no.
Their thoughts turn to a good BM in the morning.
Think about it. You're how old?
I'm 55.
And
so
I'm
double nickels.
God, Mike, you got me by 5 years. You would have been out of high school by the time I got into high school.
Indeed.
If you know how you feel at this age about sex, you think it's going to change in 15 years when you're in Harriet's age? And I would say she ain't 70. She's 65. Whoa, the lone shot of Batman going down the fucking...
Because Dick's at school.
Sure is. Lots of dick at school. That's why we all go. Isn't that right, ladies? Look at this. And wait, is Robin in the car? No.
Nope.
So they shot a brand new shot?
Mm-hmm.
Did they ever use it again?
Yeah, there's a couple times where he has to rescue Robin. In fact, that footage may have been from the pilot when Robin's kidnapped by the Riddler, when I think about it. This is this episode written by the great Lorenzo Semple Jr., by the way.
Who wrote the first episode?
Who created the pilot, created the Bible for the series, just the best writer of the show. Just so funny, so clever.
So unnecessary to do the bat, transitional image when we just saw the exterior.
We know where he is.
Yeah, and it's like, you just go inside. You don't have to do the blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, but I loved it.
Why?
Because it was Batman. I mean, it was one of those signature pieces. I love the transition. I love the music. I love the visual.
I love it too, but even as a kid, I would have been like, that was unnecessary at that time.
Always editing.
It's true. I would have been finding a better way to do the show. More economical, which I don't know how you get more economical than this, man. 3 fucking flats.
It's true. some rented furniture, some books.
Did Adam ever say if the cow was hot?
Yes. Brutally hot. And he could barely see. He had no peripheral vision or vision down.
That goes for every fucking Batman until fucking, Dark Knight. It's the Dark Knight. Until he could turn his head.
Yeah.
You want to be able to turn your head. 3 buttons is a little 90s, Mr. Wayne. That's my Chief O'Hara. No.
You're Lucius Fox.
Yeah, where's Lucius in this show?
He doesn't really make an appearance in this version of Batman.
They're like, we're going to introduce him in fucking season 3, promise. Cut to womp womp. Once again, we got an episode where almost, we're 7 minutes in. Where's the villain? We've heard tell of a villain, ain't seen him.
It's a build. You got to build it up, man.
Really, at this point in the show?
Yes.
We all know that fucking... All right, see, that transition
Principal
makes sense.
Schoolfield.
He's got no choice but to
His
go.
name is AP Schoolfield.
Had no choice but to go into fucking education.
See, here's the student council saying everyone is goofing off.
I'm sorry, did you say the senior council?
Student council.
Meaning like any senior citizens?
They are young
Look
students of Gotham.
how fucking old these people are, man.
Stop it.
No wonder I'm so screwed up, man. Because
Bert's
like,
only 19.
these were the children that I was shown when I was a child.
Bert's
and they were like,
19 years old.
this is a reflection of you. I'm like, no, it ain't. All these people look like they could have gave birth to me.
Here's Donna Lauren. Oh, yeah.
Oh, so there's a coffee machine.
Yeah, what's going to come out of that?
Better be some wooden nickels.
Quarters.
Oh my God, this girl's got
For a
it
dime, you
so
get a bucket
easy.
of quarters.
She's like, I'm sure, I was saying before, oh, she's not playing a fucking henchwoman. She might as well be. She's the one passing around all this cash going like, hey, look, free, easy living. Hi, diddle-dee-dee. Actor's life's for thee.
Maybe, just maybe, she is a member of the Joker's gang, Kevin.
The fuck? Well, look at this guy. He's like, I've got an audition. So Batman goes to fucking Fox. There's a script. He brought his pages. Woodrow Roosevelt
It's the name of the high school, Woodrow Roosevelt High School.
who was Woodrow Roosevelt?
Nobody. It's funny.
In their world,
It's not Woodrow Wilson or Theodore Roosevelt. It's Woodrow Roosevelt.
they had a president. Look at, he's using this is the first time he's ever pulled out the bat megaphone.
I love the bat bullhorn.
I got to tell you, man, for the first time he's ever used it, it looks pretty weathered.
Well, he's been in Gotham for a while, man.
Yeah, they do like to play fast and loose with that, where they're like, oh, this has been going on for a while. Every fucking villain he's met, except for Zelda so far, he's like, my old foe. And you're like, what? We're just seeing him for the first time.
My God, you complain that it doesn't get to it soon enough, and now you're complaining he's been around for a while.
A fucking
If this
fan,
was
Ralph.
Perry Mason. If this was Perry Mason, you'd be happy because he'd already be a lawyer.
If this was Perry Mason, I would have shut it off fucking 5 episodes ago, were it not for you going like, no, I swear it's good.
Here we go.
Yeah.
A boozatarium in Gotham City. Here's this drunk going to play some songs in the old jukebox, Kevin.
Is this the first drunk they've ever represented on?
No, the first Joker episode also had a drunk.
Oh, so that's the thing.
Yeah.
Whenever the Joker's on, they're like, break out all the liquor jokes. They're making fun of people and shit. What's going on here?
It's a gimmicked jukebox with the Joker's voice, and a shotgun comes out and holds up the place.
Oh, my God.
See, there's a theme. All the coin-operated novelty machines are actually criminalized now in Gotham City.
Oh, my God. This is like Maximum Overdrive before it happened.
Yes,
This is where Stephen King got the fucking idea. But still, techno crime involves people running around in stockings around their head. So at a certain point,
The jukebox can't take the money out of the register.
Wow.
It can only hold a gun on them.
that's how you find out that an app can't commit a crime. You actually need somebody to go in and do the hard,
Some
heavy
things
lifting.
you just can't replace people.
Is she really undercover for the Joker?
Yes.
I could be Batman. I sniffed this shit out.
You did.
I was like,
before
something's-
Batman.
Something's not well. I mean, yes, this has happened a few times during the run of this show. I'm disappointed to say.
What's your name, son? Dick Grayson, sir.
How rare for them to interact in this way.
That's why I love this episode.
Batman on Dick Grayson.
Batman and Dick.
Thank you, Richard. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
How come you can't call him Richard in real life?
Because he's Dick. He's his pal.
Yeah, but so here he's pretending distance.
Yes. Richard Grayson. Oh, fine. Thank you. Even
Finally,
though I don't know.
first appearance of the Joker with brown hair in this episode.
See, here Batman had brought his slides along to show these students the evils of the Joker.
Dick just said, I bet you he's a master of makeup too. And Batman said he is.
Yeah. Of disguise. Saying that he disguises himself.
Oh, I thought it was
being
just
the
like,
Joker.
I was like, master. It's fucking one layer of base. And then he does his lips. I mean, Dick's very easily impressed.
Take a closer look at that tricky flower on his lapel.
Let me tell you something. You're really the Joker's assistant, the mall in this episode. You could literally stab Batman in the neck. You're so close.
That's
And
not
he
the
wouldn't
plan.
He wouldn't see it coming. No!
there it is.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, look at that outfit. As if he stepped off the pages.
And Lee looks like the Mego doll.
Yep.
Where do you think they drew those lines on the pants, or
They did.
just like they put the question marks on Homeboy's jacket?
Yep.
Who's got this suit?
I forget the name of the collector who has that, but someone does own it. Right down to the tie.
If you look real closely, you can see where the makeup don't blend.
Yeah, it's rubbing off in his shirt, you mean?
No, up here on the top. They just didn't go all the way up and stuff.
You can go into the netting of the wig.
Kind of looks like the president, right? It just doesn't go all the way past the hairline. I don't want to get in any fights with anybody, but look, I'm leaving politics out of it. We all have to admit that
he does not blend.
Oh God,
he's bad at blending.
I mean, does he not see it or does he not care?
Both.
It's fascinating to me.
Yes.
Speaking of hiding the obvious or not hiding the obvious, look at that mustache shining through.
Yeah.
When you know what you're looking for, tough to miss it.
Especially in these remastered high-res versions.
Right.
Yeah. We didn't notice so much when we were watching with the rabbit ears at home, but these prints are crystal clear.
Not since Henry Cavill had his mustache digitally removed as a mustache in a comic book project been so problematic. Look at that fucking old ass car. Now, even when they shot this show, that would have been an old ass car, right?
Yeah, but the kids liked the old jalapenos back in the 60s. They would use them as hot rods.
Is that true?
Hot rods is what they called them, Kevin.
That's
The
true.
hot rod culture, yeah. They would take old jalapenos from the 30s and 40s and soup them up and drive them around.
So that's what like American Graffiti is, right? They're all driving older cars.
Hot rods, yeah.
So American Graffiti lied to me as well. Those cars weren't current for that era.
They were the cars kids would drive in that era, but they weren't
came from the
that
previous
era.
generation or
Kids
something.
did on purpose. They would take old cars and soup them up and use them as hot rods.
That would be like me making a TV show predicated on like, hey, it's in this world, all the teens have a Chevy Vega. Because like that's what my generation had as a hand-me-down car. And I didn't soup it up, but we just drove it.
It would be true to form if one of your characters had a classic car or something like that.
Look at the guy who's the, in casting just ran out. You forgot your script. I appreciate you wearing the costume, but next time, just come in your street clothes. You have a better chance of getting the part if you don't dress for the part. Look, you're right. It's an all fucking Dick Grayson episode.
Very
man.
Dick heavy.
If your heart's racing for Grayson, if you're like a big Burt Ward fan back in the day, do you think that's why they did it? They're like too many letters from going like, take his mask off. He's dreamy.
No, I think they just needed a.
They're like, that doesn't say mask. It says pants. Take his pants off. He's dreamy. We can't do that.
You need a hook. Here it is. The Easy Living Candy Store.
Giant hook in his pants from what legends tell us. What's this? This is where, the back room. This is where he fixed up all the fucking machines, is it?
The bad pennies. That's where they soup up all the machines. Rebuild them for crime. Now, these guys are legitimately 40. The rest of the bad pennies.
Are you kidding me? I thought this dude was in high school in this world. This is, in this scene in the movie, Joker kills that guy, right?
Yeah, he should, but he doesn't.
Oh, could you imagine? You're a fucking
shuffleboard game.
You're a goddamn criminal, and they still make you come to work in a suit. You're like, I'm flaunting the rules of society and convention, man.
Straighten
I
that
beat
tie.
my own
hey,
guy.
you straighten that tie.
Yeah. So this job requires you wear a suit. I'm like, you fucking serious? So wait, the idea here is it releases
poisonous Joker gas,
which would then do what?
Knock out everybody in the bar so they could rob it,
but not kill them.
Not kill them. No.
He just won't take it one lethal step further.
No,
he's the clown prince of crime, not the clown prince of fucking
murder and mayhem.
Yeah, of fucking homicide and shit. Premeditated. Look at this guy. Oh my God. Yeah. And as a kid, I'm like, what the? Are you serious?
Sweet Susie the cheerleader?
Actually, as a kid, I'm looking at this going like, well, that's not her because she was wearing a cheerleading outfit.
Wow. You were a dumb kid.
They should have kept her in the same outfit.
If she changed clothes, you wouldn't know who she was anymore.
Joker's always in the same outfit. I rest my case. Batman's always in the same outfit. I don't know why she had to change her fucking disguise. She's so fucking special. Who was the actress?
Donna Lauren was her name.
What has she done since, before, or after?
She was on a very popular show on ABC prior to this called Shindig. It was a musical American Bandstand type show.
Right.
And she was one of the dancers and became beloved to an entire generation of young males in the 60s. So ABC saw an opportunity for a little crossover appeal here and cast her as Sweet Susie, the cheerleader.
And then, what year did she win the Academy Award, Ralph?
I can't remember if she ever actually won, Kevin.
But she was up for it for The Turning, probably.
I don't believe she was ever actually
The Eyes of Laura Mars?
nominated.
No.
But,
and look, everyone don't have to have an Oscar-winning career. What did she do after this, though? Is this the highlight?
she did
Shit
some episodic
Diggins.
stuff in the 60s, but you can still find her at conventions and autograph signings. and
Right
stuff
on.
like
She's
that.
still doing it?
Still out there, yeah.
Good for her, man. She could tell stories about fucking Cesar Romero working with Adam West.
Yeah.
She's like, you know,
Giving Burt Ward his first on-screen kiss.
maybe they tell stories about me,
Mm.
motherfucker. Look at her. So dreamy. We're back to those Dutch tilts. And look at Soupy Sales to the right. He's going to tell all the kids at home to fucking send some money to the Joker. Uncle Soupy says.
And
this-
about 3 people in the audience got that joke, Kevin.
Yeah, I appreciate those 3 people.
That's a deep cut.
The look at that.
Look,
Oh,
he has to do algebra homework in the Batcave.
with a mask on.
I hated that when I was a kid. I hated this part.
Oh, that he was like,
That
they
he
make
had to
Robin.
do homework.
Look at the clocks in the background. That was the first time I think I've ever seen those. Like there's Gotham City time and the other places in the world.
Yep.
But they had to put something up there because of fucking, where is Tall Man? Where is Tall Man? Fucking Slender Man here. They're like, we're seeing more of the set than we've ever seen before. Look at, he got out of the car while it was turning.
I know. Isn't that cool? In the
Yeah,
turntable?
more of that, man. How come they didn't do that like every episode and shit? Such a cool idea. The idea was they turned the car around so it's ready to go rocketing out again.
Yep. No, you don't have to back it out of the Batcave, which would have been tough, really, even for an excellent driver like Batman. Wait, hold up. Wait, no, you're a little close to one side.
Oh,
Straighten
damn
it out. Straighten it out. Straight. Okay, straight
You know what
back.
would make this all unnecessary is a giant turntable right in the back cave. Yeah, I could see how the peripherals would be totally screwed on that. You know what they do nowadays? He'd have no cowl and they just CG it afterwards.
Yeah, right.
Just like all the capes in all the superhero movies now, man. They're like, capes? I'm not going to put a dopey piece of hanging cloth on a guy. He's going to look like a jerk. I'm going to spend $10 million animating
Have a team
the
of
capes.
people in some foreign country digitally paint a cape onto his back.
We fucking laugh and go like, oh, could you imagine such a stupid world? Meanwhile, they did it to Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds painted the entire fucking
whole
suit on the whole
costume.
time. How weird could you imagine? Like, you're like Green Lantern. He's like, fuck yeah, man, I'm playing superhero.
wait to put
Where's
on
my
that
costume?
costume.
They're like,
It's this leotard with some dots on it.
and then fucking
Suit up.
the next superhero movie he did was Deadpool, where he barely ever took the fucking thing off.
Right.
He was like, nah, I'm wearing the suit. Oh, look at that, man. So even the gumball machines were going to be rigged, Ralph.
Everything, Kevin.
So a little kid goes to buy some gumballs. What happens?
Cash comes out.
Oh my God. I'm
Easy
quitting school.
living.
I'm quitting school.
That's the whole idea.
This is not an evil plan. This is a good plan.
No, it's not, because life is not like that, Kevin. That's not how life works. And the thing is, once you're hooked and you don't have an education, what do? You turn to crime.
Bullshit. The Joker just believes in UBI, Universal Basic Income. And the idea is that everybody gets a starting salary, man. Something we can all have a basis that we all work from the same fair level playing field, Ralph.
I see. So Joker's actually a social progressive. Is that what you're saying?
He's the Bernie Sanders of this bitch. Where are
Gotcha.
we getting all this money to give away? He's a goddamn criminal. Is it a
but
lost
it's
leader of
nickel
sorts?
it's nickel and dime. It's just bait. It's just bait.
He's like that fucking fox in the Pinocchio movie.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? Telling kids like, hi, diddle dee dee.
Exactly.
Anti-theft system. Oh, on the Batmobile, because
Yeah.
they're going to, wait, is it her again?
Yep.
Too many outfit changes, Ralph.
How can you be so confused? There's only one female character in the whole goddamn show.
I mean, she looks like all the rest of them except for Aunt Harriet.
She's the one. There's only one.
All I'm saying as a storyteller is I'd put the fucking cheerleader outfit on and leave it on her. So every time you see her, you're like, oh, that's the cheerleader.
That explains Silent Bob's outfit.
Yes. And Kevin Smith's for that matter. Every time you see him, you're like, that's Kevin Smith. Look at this shit.
Right?
How come nobody thought of this before? Go for the balls. It just missed.
Knees, Kevin.
No, he was
Knees.
clearly going for the balls. He had a clamp come out.
Joker gas.
Oh. So now they're going to die from Smilex poisoning?
No, it's not knockout gas.
He's got.
They're going to take a
What?
little nap on each other.
All right, here's your chance. Take their masks off. and-
Nope.
What?
He's got a rigged doomsday trap.
Fuck taking their masks off. He could literally slice their throats open.
He's got them hooked up to electric chairs that are hooked up to a slot machine.
Oh, such a waste of time.
And when the jackpot comes up, they don't win money. They win 50,000 volts of electricity coursing through their bodies.
So who's playing the machine?
It's an automatic machine.
All right, I would have taken it one step further, made it playable from one side of the fucking, room, and then on the other side, that's where they're dying. So you take it to the high school, and it's your milk machine, and they're on the other side of a fucking false wall.
So you make the kids kill them?
That's the Joker, bitch. That's the fucking maniacal Joker. Never mind this fucking, I'm gonna hang out with this girl who keeps changing her outfits. This girl must have had it in her contract, like Shannon Doherty, that she got to keep all her clothes at the end of the episode because there's so many outfit changes in this episode for this one character. I'm sure fucking Burt Ward was like, this was meant to be my episode, and I've been upstaged by,
Donna Lauren, a bunch of sweaters.
Dress up Barbie. Every fucking scene, she got a new episode. Boy, it's a long time to fucking, what would have made none of this necessary or all this unnecessary, Ralph?
What's that, Kevin?
Once he gasses them, he just cuts their heads off.
Yeah. I don't think that's quite as fun. I don't know. It's just me. I think their heads rolling across the gymnasium floor wouldn't be quite as entertaining as this elaborate dooms trap.
You don't do that, but what you do is Commissioner Gordon gets into his office in the morning, turns the lights on, walks to his desk.
Yeah.
And then fucking we see it, but he don't. And only keen eyes looking for it see it.
Right.
Then he slowly walks back to the desk and we pull out to reveal in the foreground the phone, the glass case covered phone.
The dome that covers the bat phone.
Is the phone ain't in there. Robin's head. Who do you call? Because the bat phone's gone.
Good point.
And then, fucking you want to talk about a man hell-bent for justice.
Does Gordon absentmindedly just take the dome off and pick up Robin's head and try talking
his fingers in his eyes? Batman!
Before he realizes.
Are you there, Batman?
Wait a minute.
Chief O'Hara's like, the boss has lost it. This is what you get for fucking turning over the Justice Department to a vigilante. He's been going crazy for years and we just let it happen. And now he's answering fucking human heads like they're phones. This is nuts. Nuts, I tell you. No wonder I drink. And that's when he pulls out his flask and fucking tosses one back. You don't fucking blame a guy like that. You don't blame a guy for being a career drunk when he's got to deal with the madness of Gotham City.
There's a lot of craziness going on, that's for sure.
We only see the well-dressed side of it, Ralph. What you don't see is the blood, fucking burning pile of bodies in the atomic pile. The fucking, remember those other two dudes that got gunned down in that one episode?
Yep, in the sarcophagi.
All right, so part one's over, and once again, the Joker had the opportunity to not only unmask Batman and Robin, which should be at the heart of every villain's mission. Find out who this pesky fuck is so I could do away with him and his and go about, fucking doing crime in Gotham City.
Joker already tried that in his first appearance on this series.
You don't give up. That's like saying Joker already tried robbing a bank once and then he just stopped.
But if he's going to kill them anyway, why does he need to take the masks off?
Look, either way, show me why he won't do either of those
He's
things.
going to electrocute them, Kevin. Is that not good enough for you?
You know, it's a lot easier, Ralph. It's like, oh, these guys are passed out. Give me your pocket knife. They're like, boss, don't do it. And he's like, no. He's like, but what? Will he feel it? He goes, of course he'll feel it. He's like, will he wake up? No, because the gas. You mean you're going to cut his fucking throat? And this guy is never going to wake up. He's just going to wake up in hell or heaven. He's going, yeah, what? Is this how you think about fucking our jobs? Murder? Like this way? Don't think about us as a human being. We are sociopaths. In fact, we're psychopaths. He should be to us as a piece of furniture, a chair that's in our way.
Where's the whimsy in that, though? There's no whimsy. Joker's all about whimsy.
I don't want whimsy. I want a psychopath. I want a maniacal clown who's just like, this all makes sense in my mind. And shit, like they walk in and he's got a bunch of cut off dicks arranged in a circle around him. And they're like, boss, what's going on? He's like, And then he just goes on with another conversation as if they're all supposed to know.
I missed the joke there. I don't get the joke.
the joke's on us because we can't fucking understand it. He's so next level and shit.
I see.
I watched a goddamn show the other night, reminded me of this shit, man. But like in the real world, it was on Investigation Discovery. And it was a show about like where they show you you know what? We'll get this going. All right, everybody, line this shit up. I'll tell you what I watched when we watched something else.
Great. I'm going to be trying to talk about this show, and you're going to do Investigation Discovery.
Well, it's relevant, Ralph.
Why don't you start your own podcast with Investigation Discovery episodes?
Because I'm going to try to squeeze it in here, if it's okay with you. All right, everybody, press play.
Does it seem like it's okay with me?
He meets his match. The Grizzly Ghoul is the title of this episode.
Opposite of okay with me.
And now we press play. Ralph, of course, will tell you when Batman comes up. I'll tell you, too, in case. Batman!
In color.
There it is. All right, so I watched this fucking show because this is just like, remember last week when these 80-year-olds were high school kids? And by the way, soundstage, not a gym.
Oh, it's totally a gym.
You could.
There's a milk machine. There's a milk machine in there. They don't have milk machines in sound stages.
You're so easily fooled. It's amazing that you haven't wound up like, the black fucking Dahlia in this town. The little Rube from fucking Philadelphia comes. He's like, oh, this must be a gym. There's a milk machine here. So easy to fucking fool, man.
At least I can recognize people when they change their shirts. Tell me I'm being fooled.
They'll let me go because, like, clearly he's an idiot. He doesn't notice things. They'll cut in half and leave in a parking lot.
That guy can never identify us because we'll just change our shirts.
The Black Ralphia.
He can never pick us out of a lineup because we changed our pants.
All I'm saying is this criminal right there, the Joker, he knows how to be a criminal. He wears one outfit and you identify him easily. That's what you want. I watched a show on Investigation Discovery and it was fucking crimson where they spoke like it's the video when you're in a room, interrogation room and shit. You always see them talking and I'm always like fascinated by the people that are like giving the cops a hard time where I'm like, are you fucking crazy? Like they could take away your rights and fucking like go search your house and fucking they'll take your phone away. Like they can do a lot worse than that, Ralph. I don't know.
Hold on. They can take your phone away.
Yeah. That's pretty fucking.
What kind of Nazi fascist state are we living in?
And I don't know how many minutes you got or how many friends are in your family plan, but like that's problematic. So they got this show of like, when these people confess, when they got people that are not like fucking trying to hide the crime. They're just like, yeah. And it's fucking chilling.
Because it's so matter of fact.
This guy killed his mom and he talked about it like it was inhuman and not inhuman. Like I was dancing in her blood, just so cold the way that like,
devoid of any kind of emotion.
Just didn't see that person as a person at all. But he, the cops going like, are you sorry for what you've done? Because he calmly explained how he fucking killed his mother. He tried to strangle her at first. And then he went and got a hammer and fucking bashed her brains in. And then he dragged her into a room and finished the job and shit like that. And then he was like, and then I was going to kill my sister next and shit. So he's describing like killing his mom and shit. And then the guy, one of the two detectives, I don't know how the fuck they're not like, ew. You know what I'm saying? Like how they hide their real emotions and shit.
Right.
But the one guy's going like, do you feel bad about what you've done? And he was like, no. I mean, I know now I'm going to jail, but I'm glad I did it. But, I did love her in my way. Like it's so fucked up. So crazy. I would like to see a Batman that's that. Him in an interrogation room for like fucking a half an hour, like that scene in Dark Knight. But
boy, that is a Kevin Smith Batman.
You ain't kidding, right? Two people in a room talking.
Batman's sitting at a fucking table talking to a dude about the crime he committed, and the guy just describing the crime. We don't even see it. We just see Batman nodding and listening.
Highest grossing Batman film of all time, I promise you. Based on what it costs. If Warner Brothers lets me make that movie, I make that movie for like less than $1 million. They can release that like they'd release any other Batman. The trailer's a little boring because it's like one room. But, it's a teaser. You don't even need a trailer. They just give you a teaser.
Right.
And the first time you see that fucking teaser, you're like, holy shit, look at them fucking in the interrogation room.
Batman sits.
This is going to be amazing. And then you get in there and it's like, Oh, this is the whole thing.
From the people who brought you Batman Begins, now we bring you Batman Listens. It's just Batman intently listening to people confess.
From the studio that brought you Batman Begins and the director who brought you Clerks comes the cheapest one-shot Batman movie you'll ever see. Maison Scene. Batman and Maison Scene.
Batman two-shot.
Two-shot. Fucking, hey, calm down there, Orwell. Orson Welles.
His friends called him Orwell. They combined it. It was like J-Lo. They would just run them together.
He was in love with himself. So they're like, oh, he's Orwellian. Look at this shit.
Saved by a power blackout.
That's it.
Yes. They
Gotta
lucked
be honest
out, man.
with you. Look at this After Hours. Fucking Commissioner Gordon.
No, it's a power outage.
Tie open and oh, that's right. There's a candle lit.
Yes.
But because he's like, well, there's no power, I don't have to act like a civilized man.
I can undo my
yeah, I'm getting naked. Hey, guys, why don't we all take our clothes off?
Probably no air conditioning either. I'm guessing that's why Commish is a little bit stuffy.
Oh, that's what's being played here.
Yeah.
God, you're a good storyteller. I didn't figure that shit out.
Thanks.
Instantly, I always go to sex. Well, he must want to get those guys naked.
Gordon's sharing his chest. He's rubbing his nipples.
I can give you another version of Batman interrogation room scene
No,
that's
thank
erotically
you.
charged as fuck.
Leaning over the table.
I think you know what? I'm asking right now. Hashtag BabbleBat. Don't you want to see my version of a Batman movie? 2 hours at a table between him and the Joker just talking, having a fucking mind game conversation.
Wow. That sounds like the worst fan film ever made.
You know what? Maybe you're right, Ralph. Maybe you're right. Maybe it would be the worst, but it'd be the highest grossing if Warner Brothers backed my play. Hashtag BabbleBat. Let me know how right I am, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, boy.
Or if you want to fucking, vote for Ralph's negative take on it, hashtag keeping it real Ralph. There you go. Oh, look at him diving off into the night. Yeah. More of that, man. Like running around in the dark instead of like broad daylight where people could be like, hey, isn't that Bruce Wayne and his young ward? That fucking 30-year-old teenager that hangs out with that lady that turned out to be the Joker's mall.
My God.
Sometimes, Ralph, it seems like there are less people in this Gotham City than in Tim Burton's Gotham City. And that Gotham City had about 12 people in it at all given times. Very small. Do you know why that was, Ralph?
I don't, Kevin. Why is that?
They're on a fucking sound stage. That's why.
I see.
It wasn't the real world. It wasn't until Chris Nolan was like, let's go to Chicago and shoot Chicago for Gotham City and show like a real world that they finally took this shit off fucking sets and whatnot.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is a set that we duplicated for Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. The Blunt Cave.
Yeah, the Blunt Cave
is made of almost the exact same thing. We had an atomic pile, but it was a big bong, the atomic bong. We had a Batmobile. We didn't have a rotating platform though. A big symbol on the floor and shit. But the walls were made of the same kind of shit. Which, when you watch this show, you're like, oh my God, fucking, they built, carved into the living rock of Hollywood, a goddamn bat cave, because I see the car drive into what's clearly a mountain every fucking time. That's paper mache behind them.
Yeah, it's crinkled paper.
That's really all it is.
Spray painted.
It's the magic of Hollywood, man. Yeah. You could do this in your house right now. Yeah. You got a little Batman fan? Turn their room literally into a bat cave with some fucking crinkled up bags from, the fucking food store. And a little bit
some chicken wire and
some chicken wire and shit. Motherfucker like MacGyver. Motherfucker better than MacGyver. Quoting movies. My own.
Dick Grayson, undercover agent.
Push in.
Wait a minute. Wait for it.
Take your mask off. So he's finally.
Wait.
He had a double look.
He gulped.
He swallowed, if you will.
Legitimate gulp.
So this, in part 2, is where Batman finally puts Robin to work.
Yes. There he is.
Undercover Robin.
Ne'er-do-well Dick Grayson.
What a combo.
Dog George the Batman.
Why?
I stole that for our comic book, by the way. When
George the Batman.
When Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson are talking via their walkie-talkies, it's Dog George to Bravo Whiskey.
Wow. Look at deep cuts. Bold, man. Why the open button-down shirt?
Cuz, man, he's cool. He's a bad dude. He's got his motorcycle jacket on.
Yeah, brand new off the shelf motorcycle jacket. Hey, she recognizes him from school.
She can't believe that he's hanging out in the bad penny candy store.
Oh my God.
Hi, Sue baby. Don't mind this camera I'm putting here on top of the counter.
They never addressed that?
No.
Well, because it was the 60s, Ralph. They wouldn't. That's technology from like the fucking future.
That's true.
That would be like if you walked into the room with an iPhone. They'd be like, what the fuck? But instead, they're more fascinated by her and Soupy Sales are like, look at this teenage tough. This is a kid. Look at him right there.
Snarling, looking all
He's
snarky.
wearing fucking makeup. I don't care if he's wearing a leather jacket or not. Anybody could take this kid except for Bruce Lee, as we see.
That's right.
When they eventually fight. He's very proud of that.
Yes.
Burt Ward.
Yes, he is.
That he was, he could hold his own against the master.
They used to spar.
Yeah.
Says Burt.
Buy it. A couple of young man and stuff like that.
Were they shirtless, Kevin, when they sparred?
God, in my imagination, absolutely.
Wearing just athletic supporters?
It's so hot. And it is like a fucking United Nations international shirtless men fight competition. It is predicated the UFC, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Came from Burt Ward and Bruce Lee. She's still in the show? She didn't die in the atomic pile yet? Isn't that what they normally do?
I'm surprised you recognize her because she's wearing a completely different costume in this scene.
Well, I
thought you were going to ask me, who's that girl sitting at the table?
I saw her with
Why
Soupy
introduce
Sales.
a new character in this at this point in the show?
Is that the cheerleader's mom? What is she doing here? Why can't she get a little outfit? How come she could have been Harley Quinn? Every assistant he has in
you
the
want
show
everyone to be Harley Quinn.
could have been Harley Quinn.
Yeah, but they weren't because she wasn't invented yet.
Batman 66 for me is a series of missed opportunities.
I can tell. All you see is what it isn't.
Did he bust his cigarette line?
Yeah, you missed that. He already coughed on his cigarette.
And said that
I better not. I already had a pack today.
And he's got to steal from the butler.
Yeah, I got to steal dimes from the butler just for cigarette money.
Do you think Alfred appreciated being used in that way? He's like, I know you're undercover, but you're painting a portrait of me.
That's a little painful.
Yeah, it's like a fucking nerd. Oh, yeah, this is what we need.
Some spinning walls.
Oh, I love that he holds on to it. I remember that detail as a kid.
Yeah.
What do you think that was all about? Just safety?
Yeah, you don't want to go flying off into the Joker's hideout on the other side.
Whoa, one of the lone times that Robin comes down without Batman. He's like, you didn't wait for me, you fucking dick. He's like, hey, you're the fucking dick. Get it? Because
of your name?
It's literally your name, Richard. He's like, why'd you call me Richard in front of people? It's weird. Hey, there's the clock. Did you ever see that before?
Sure.
Every time. Oh, look at that. They're pushing into it, man.
You only have 20 minutes to get to the bar before the next robbery.
They're showing you that once again, Batman and Robin are going out in broad fucking daylight.
They can, it's allowed.
They can, but it's going to make it easier for everybody to figure out. One day, one of the 14 people that live in Gotham City are going to look just a little too close and be like, hey, that's Bruce Wayne. I'm pretty sure that guy's got a mustache under all that makeup. How come his box doesn't say Joker? Like Joker remote, like Batman stuff. He didn't brand his shit.
I don't think he feels the necessity of labeling everything.
He is a true anarchist. He's like, I'm not trying to make money off of this and trademark it and shit. I'm trying to bring about the downfall of civilization and society, man. I'm trying to burn it all down.
I'm sowing the seeds of craziness.
I'm trying to send a message. Everything burns.
That's right.
He's like, why so serious? So wait, is it implied that they're in a relationship?
It isn't. No, it's not implied.
She just likes helping bad guys.
She's just got a thing for the bad boys.
She's a bad penny herself.
She is, hence the name. Here we go. This is going to be a great moment, Kevin.
What's going to happen?
Miss this.
What's going to happen?
They're waiting for that rigged jukebox to bring out that shotgun again.
Is he covering himself with his cape?
He is.
He's like wrapping
waiting.
himself in his cape.
Waiting.
Like a bat. As a bat holds his wings.
Yes, in the comfort of his cape.
And gave him something to do. Drop the cape.
Here we go.
A little bit of business.
Everyone back.
Because he knows what's going to happen. So last time we saw this thing, it had a machine gun.
Yep.
Are these cats going to bust out the fucking bat shield for this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
My God, I pulled it from my fucking imagination.
Take the blast full force bat shield.
Well, when does that get opened?
You'll see. Jeez, God, have some patience.
And the idea, right, is that it's always pulled from a utility belt.
Yep.
And then unfolds.
And then put back away into the utility belt.
Flap, 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 flap. And now it's open.
About 5 feet square of solid lucite gets folded up into quarters and stuffed back into his belt.
So wait, do they show us? Or do they just cut to it?
Oh, you'll see it.
The joke's on you, my cheery booze hounds. So wait, do they know?
Yep.
That Robin and Batman and Robin are in there?
Yeah, sure. And so he's actually going to fire the gun this time.
Surprise!
There it is.
Batman, look at that, man. Get behind there, Robin. What the fuck? Is he firing water at that fucking thing?
No, it's buckshot.
That is impressive.
Back grenade. Yeah.
Look at all that smoke. So expensive. Boy, oh boy, that
Watch him put it away. It's the best.
flap.
Watch. Here we go.
Flap.
Just tucks away neatly in his belt.
That's acting, my
It is
friend.
indeed.
That is why, and that's why Silent Bob fucking, packs everything into his jacket, his coat. Because as a child, I believed what I saw on TV.
It's your utility coat.
And like that you could put something that massive away and it won't like stick out of your ass, or people be like, is that a giant plastic shield under there? Bulletproof shield?
Yep.
I was really tainted in a good way by TV as a kid. It led me out here where I was like, I want to tell lies for a living.
Yep.
But at the same time, I'm not bright.
No.
And I'd like to think of myself as a smart person, but then when I hear myself talk out loud, when I hear myself say, if she's not dressed like a cheerleader,
I don't know who she is.
I sit there and go like, what happened? Look at this shit. Scene out of Casablanca. What's going on right now?
Batman's just telling him to inspect his jukeboxes more carefully before he installs them.
Could you imagine?
You never know when one might have a shotgun inside of it. I'm blaming the proprietor.
Yeah, that dude works at the bar. He's blaming the bartender. He's like, I don't own this place. Talk to my boss.
I didn't buy the goddamn jukebox.
I fucking work here. Hey, I don't fucking show up in your bat hole or wherever to fucking smack the dick out of your mouth, do I? It's called a bat cave. No. I bet you it's made of paper mache, buddy.
See, now the Joker this is the big score.
Discotheque. They're ahead of the times.
He's betting heavily on the opponent at the big basketball game between Woodrow Roosevelt and Discotheque.
Discotheque. Oh my God, that's adorable. Boy, I forgot there was like a school related fucking discotheque. I forgot there was a school storyline. And once again, if that ain't a sound stage, I don't know what is. Kids, you ever seen a fucking gymnasium looks like that?
With asbestos paneling all on the side of it. Probably not the healthiest place to work out if you're a kid.
There she is back in her outfit. I guess.
Oh, now you know who she is.
Yeah. But,
hey, where's she been for the past 2 episodes? Why would they introduce her at the beginning?
How weird.
And then not bring her back till now?
They haven't touched her character in like 30 minutes. I guess that is kind of her gun mall outfit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what's she got there? Is that booze?
No, it's a perfume that the Joker gave her as a reward for a job well done. But he said, don't put it on until after you've rigged the milk machine in the gymnasium. So she's going into the locker room to splash some perfume on.
I mean, she doesn't want to do that in front of people.
It's poisonous.
And that's what's going to happen to her?
Yeah. Joker poisons her with perfume.
All right, now we're talking. This is more like the fucking Joker that we all know.
Little Smilex.
Yeah, little Smilex. Why did he hit her with Joker venom? What's the point?
Because she's a loose end.
Did he say that?
Yeah. Look, and he's all depressed here because she's dead. But wait a minute.
Oh, so wait, he did or didn't do it?
He did it. Joker did it.
Oh, so he's just talking to himself like, well, it had to
talking to the crew saying, yeah, it's
this
sad.
life at best is one long practical joke, he said.
Life is one long practical joke.
Oh, look at him.
See?
He's so mischievous. He just killed a woman, but this guy, he
Now
hits with an exploding cigar.
And now he feels better. If that guy smoked a guitar, that would be an awesome scene.
He is truly a psychopath.
He is, yeah.
For a second there, he was just like, well, I loved her in my way, but here, have a cigar.
Oh, now I feel better. That's funny.
He's fucking Mark Zuckerberg, man. Just kind of going through the motions of acting like a human being. hey guys, let's get a few fucking rounds of basketball before they start shooting Wagon Train. Because clearly we're on a fucking sound stage.
Let's get some milk. Let's get some milk before the big game so we can throw up all over the court when we're playing.
As you do.
Get your stomach filled with a quart of milk.
You got to remember, kids, this is before they invented Gatorade.
That's right.
So they're like,
That's
you
a
hot?
sports drink.
Are you overheated? Why don't you have yourself some nice
Guzzle
milk?
some milk.
So wait a second. Is this a diploma he's just been given?
It's the answer key to the final exams, the pre-college exams.
I think I like my version better.
Which now the Joker has taken photographic evidence of them holding those stolen results. So now the team will be suspended and the scrubs will lose horribly to Discotheque in the big game tonight. So Joker's going to win on his big bet.
I would quickly point out, like, that nobody can see the contents of this paper in that fucking photo, Your Honor. Like, it was really a fake diploma. You know what it was? It was a receipt that said, sorry, the milk machine is empty.
I don't think so.
I mean, I didn't think that. They'd have to let's see how he's holding those papers. He would have had to go over his shoulder to get an image of, like, all the answers and stuff. You know what? I hate to say it, Ralph, but, like, this show's not very believable.
You're going to let art just wash over you, Kevin.
I mean, who's Art? Is that the cheerleader? Is Art one of these basketball players? Is it one of those basketball players wearing a button-down shirt? Robin's button-down shirt?
Oh, it's a windbreaker. He wants to stay warm.
I think what's being implied is look, he's wearing the shirt. You know how yeah, I love when he drops the cape. You guys,
swinging down from the rafters.
I mean, unbelievable. There was a time
that shadow
where and he's not even doing the pose.
Yeah.
There was a time, Ralph, when Batman's beat was grades. He was a grade cop.
Was he?
Apparently.
He started off working for the Board of Education.
Oh, that's a nice shot.
Yeah.
Fucking shadows. Biff. And still, we're working with words on the screen, superimposing words.
Yep.
They haven't cheaped it up or dumbed it down.
I think the whole first season has it.
Mm.
And then the second season, they start editing in the cards.
It looks like Robin and, oh my God, they're both punching at the same time.
Synchronized biffing.
Looks like something out of a Joel Schumacher version of Batman. Oh, yeah, there you go. Oh, I thought he was going to try to Oh, yeah! Holy the fuck.
Right? That's a
brute
clean and
strength.
jerk right
Look at this
there.
guy. Oh, I thought he was just going to pull. Is that
trick Joe for confetti?
He's going to wrap him up?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
There's no getting out of that. Streamers.
He's got me in his famous trick streamers. And now I pull a gun and blow your fucking heads off. What is this?
Joker sneeze powder.
Man, this Dark Knight is no Batfleck. Batfleck
He's not sneezing.
dove out of the way of that.
He took an anti-allergy pill.
Oh, that he's smarter than Batfleck. Yeah. Schwack.
Bam.
Oh, imagine
Right in
if
the
it
skull.
just implanted in the
Right
back
in the
of the skull where he's
Would
like,
you
I'm
stop?
crippled.
Or in his eye, like Dark Knight, just a batarang sticking out of his eye.
Then you got me. Then I'm tuning in for next week's episode because I'm like, I like this justice. It's bloody. These guys finally going to get to play their basketball game where somebody's going to be like, you can take the belts off. Those shorts will stay up by themselves. Do they show us the game, the big game? Ralph?
No, we just assume that Woodrow Roosevelt trounced Discotheque.
Now,
Now Susie has to go off to the Home for Wayward Girls.
And who's taking her there?
Oh,
do you see any police escorts here?
Bruce,
this chick was just like literally a terrorist.
Yeah, but she was
She was into it, Ralph.
She was taken advantage of by the Joker. She had a broken home.
No way, man.
Yeah.
This is like
Joker took advantage of her, and now they're going to send her off to a home for wayward girls, and she'll be rehabilitated.
I'm telling you, I'm watching this show on Showtime right now. It's called We Hunt Together. She's like the girl in it, man.
No,
who's manipulative, making people kill on her behalf.
Susie's
and stuff.
got a good heart at the end of the day.
She comes back in another episode?
No.
This is it, huh?
This is it for Susie.
Is there any kissing before she leaves?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I mean, kind of weird, right? To be in a millionaire's house and like, kiss my young ward. Go on, kiss him.
If you do more, you don't have to go to jail.
Oh, thanks, Dick. You're welcome, Susie.
That's Burt Ward's first screen kiss.
He's used to hearing thanks, Dick, all the time.
Yeah.
If there hadn't been a power failure, where would Robin be? Where would Batman be? Fucking dead, right?
Yes.
They would have been dead.
50,000 volts.
Then, Ralph, do you think they would have finally taken their masks off and been
Would
like,
you enough with the masks?
look at this. It turned out to be Bruce Wayne all along.
I can't really tell because their flesh is charred because they just got electrocuted.
Why on earth didn't we take the mask off first, abscond with his fortune, then fucking murder him?
Next week?
Oh!
False face.
Now, what the fuck is this all about?
All right, easy there, sailor.
Who did False Face come from? That was not a Batman villain, was
False
it?
face was actually from the comics.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So this was not like a lame attempt to do Two-Face.
No.
Who plays False Face?
An actor named Malachi Throne.
And famous for playing False Face?
He, very popular character actor in the 60s and 70s.
I don't remember.
Do you remember a
much
show
about.
called It Takes a Thief with Robert Wagner?
Yeah.
He was Robert Wagner's boss on that show.
Oh, that guy.
Malachi Throne.
I'm trying to remember False Face. Is it always that clear plastic mask, or is it like he can be anybody?
He can be anybody.
Can he be ladies?
Yes.
So is there another kissing episode next
Stop
week,
it.
Ralph, where suddenly we find out that not all kisses
Interestingly enough, though,
are with women
when
in
they
Gotham
air
City.
the false face episodes,
Yes.
they don't identify the actor playing the role
In the opening credits?
in any of the credits. They say question mark as false face. So they never told anybody who false face was.
Oh, they're like, oh, you guys are going to fucking love it. It's going to be amazing. Everyone's
Imagine the
like,
disappointment on
question
people's
mark.
faces
Who
when
was
they
it, Jerry
found out
Lewis,
who it
Dean
was.
Martin, fucking Frank Sinatra? Like,
Malachi Throne.
did you ever see To Catch a Thief with Robert Wagner?
It takes a thief. Not to catch a thief. That's Cary Grant.
You know the guy who played his boss? You don't. But that guy, he's
the
false
question
face.
mark. Guy.
After Zelda, who was Zelda again? Who played her?
The actress,
Yeah.
that is Ann Baxter.
So he's less famous than Ann Baxter. Because
Yes.
Ann Baxter's name, you say, I'm like, oh, I've heard that name.
Yes.
But say his name again?
Malachi Throne.
Never mind false face. I'm pretty sure that's a false actor.
It's not.
Bet you they
It's
just
a
made
real
it up.
actor.
Maybe it's Adam West played the part and they just gave it was like a Clark
Nope.
Gessner, like they made up the name for the fucking people that made Your Good Man Charlie Brown.
Nope.
It's
He
not
didn't.
one person, it's really a team of people.
Yes, but no.
You knew that about Your Good Man Charlie
I
Brown?
did, yes.
You're well read.
Bill Melendez was the major producer animator behind that project.
It was a play before it was a
You mean You're a Good Man,
show.
Charlie Brown on stage. Yeah,
yes. Oh, so you didn't know what I was talking about.
I thought you were talking about the animated specials.
The play musical, Your Good Man Charlie Brown,
Yes.
is credited book and lyrics to a man named Clark Gessner.
Yes.
There is no Clark Gessner.
Wow.
The entire first cast of You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown wrote the show themselves. So they're all adapted from Peanut strips. Nobody wrote anything. They literally take them from the Peanut strips.
Right.
But, rather than be like, it was made by all these people, they just picked like a pseudonym, if you will. Isn't that crazy? So if you were like, I'm trying to track down Clark Gessner as the Batman, people would be like, well, good luck. He's like, I'll find Clark Gessner. I'll find anybody. I'm a manhunter. And they're like, yeah, well.
Why is Batman so upset about You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown? Why is he trying to hunt
I
him
want my
down?
money back. A human being played Snoopy. This is batshit crazy.
And the original Charlie Brown of that show?
You know this?
Yes.
All right, hold on. Don't tell me. I don't know. I give up that easily.
Gary Berghoff.
Are you shitting me from fucking MASH?
TV's Radar O'Reilly from MASH originated the role of Charlie Brown on stage.
Wow. Motherfucking wow.
There you go. Tit for tat right there with your Charlie Brown.
You just put it right in my fucking face. I thought I was like the Joker. I'm like, I got this bitch. I'm going to fucking infect the high school. And there's a lot going on in those episodes, man. A lot. Like,
Sorry, was it too complex for you to follow a Batman episode?
all I'm saying is pick a lane. Either you're fucking, you're undercover in the world of kids, or you're fucking rigging machines to give you free monies and stuff.
Doing it all.
Yeah, they tried to. There was a hat on a hat, as they say, Ralph. A cowl on a cowl. Very busy episode for the Joker. Next week is False Face.
Indeed.
Where does that put us in the season? Are we past the halfway mark yet? If we were at episode 14, 15, 16?
We are midway-ish of season 1.
How many episodes in season 1?
I think 32.
The fuck, serious? Oh, I guess they were doing
half
it
hours. They're split.
and twice a week, right?
Yeah. It's 120 total, and they only did 3 seasons. So you do the math. That's 40 episodes a season.
Do the math. That's a current Netflix show. You know, in 1966, they were like, it's a failure. We canceled it. But right now,
Yeah,
they'd be like, hey, man, you got 2 years on Netflix. You're fucking king of the world.
it's true.
And now you're canceled.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, man. Batman 66 showed us the fucking future even back then.
Indeed.
What are you most looking forward to in season 1?
Oh, boy. I think the first Catwoman appearance.
That's right. We still haven't seen Catwoman. Is there anyone
Yeah.
else we haven't seen yet? I mean, other than the Egghead.
Of the big ones?
Yeah.
No, I think we've
We've got
already-
them all except for her.
We've had a Penguin. We've had a couple Jokers, now a couple Riddlers.
They really waited a long time to
They
be like,
did.
you know,
Yeah.
here's the pussy. This is why you tuned in.
Perfect Crime.
That's the name of the episode?
Yeah, PURRFECT, of course. But I love that episode because we talked about this before. That's the episode that Viewmaster made the reels out of. So when you wanted to see Batman and Robin and you couldn't watch them on television, you could hold your Viewmaster up to the light and you could watch this episode. And that's the one they picked, was
And the last shot in the Viewmaster
Catwoman.
is them looking down
into the bottomless chasm
where she,
Catwoman has plummeted to her death.
in the
Question mark?
Batcave.
No.
Another dead body in the Batcave.
No, it's not the Batcave. It's a different series of caves where Captain Manx has hidden his treasure.
You're right.
Yeah.
In my childhood memory, I mixed them up. And she
See?
dies in the Batcave.
All
Well,
caves are
I
the
know
same
she
to
don't
you.
die. I know.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like that's
Can't
what every-
recognize girls when they change clothes, and all the caves are the Batcave.
It's true. I'm sure this is coming off as very misogynistic, but let's be realistic, man. You put a costume on a person, very easy. Look, when she was a cheerleader, I knew exactly who she was.
That's true.
The moment they put street clothes on her, I'm losing track. I've lost the thread of the plot.
You got to pay a little closer attention.
More confusing than a fucking Chris Nolan movie at that point. Which I haven't seen yet. Neither of you.
Tenet?
Yeah.
No.
They got it everywhere except here.
Yeah.
How are we supposed to remain current? You and me, 10 years, Hollywood Babble-On.
Right.
We're always with our fingers on the pulse, if not straight up the ass of pop culture. What's happening? What's in the now?
Yep.
And here we are going like,
Now we're looking back.
what's happening
No,
on
we're
Tenet?
looking back 50 years. We don't have to worry about it now.
No, we had a show that was set in the present and the future. And now I've dragged you back into the past with me. My entire career is predicated on the past. What am I working on for Netflix? Masters of the Universe,
Yeah.
old show.
Yep.
What am I out there pitching now? Green Hornet, old show.
Yep.
What did I just have in the movie theaters last year? Not even movie theaters, on tour last year. Jay and Silent Bob reboot based on an old thing.
Yep.
You stick around with me long enough, man, I'll have you back in diapers, man.
I'm all for it.
Right?
I've
older
seen
we
the
get,
present, and I don't want to see the future. I want to go back.
back to diapers and
I
shit.
want to go back because I'm feeling so much older, but I can't go back. I know.
I wanna go back,
Go
go back and do her all over on her back, her armpit, and her eyebrows. That's what that song's about, isn't it? It's about a man who's middle-aged and he's just like, the sex I could have had when I was younger and I didn't.
I think it's about a great deal of nostalgia, not just for ladies.
Oh my God, Ralph.
for the
Where's the
simpler
fucking
times.
Freudian in you?
The
Everything
simpler times
is about fucking Nookie at the root of it, man. Everything.
R.I.P. Eddie Money.
Especially this Batman. Oh, that's right. He passed away.
Yeah.
You met him.
Several times.
You sang with him. Well,
Almost.
yes.
Yeah.
Great story. Do a quick version of it right now.
Quick
Can't
story.
leave him hanging. Otherwise, people are going to be like, what happened? What
I
happened?
can't believe anyone hasn't heard this story by now who listens to
It's
it.
always a first. Like Stan Lee said,
That's
every
true.
comic book is always somebody's first comic book. This could be somebody's first time hearing the story.
I went
For the
on
rest
and,
of you, be patient.
I went on and on about Eddie Money on the morning radio show where I was working, and it was much to the chagrin of the hosts and brass there at the station because it was an alt music station, was supposed to be all cutting edge and we're modern rock and blah blah blah.
And you're like, take me home tonight.
So I would go on and not ironically, but to fly in the face of convention and those people, I would talk about my love for Asia and for Eddie Money and things like that. And
super
so,
groups and single solo artists from the 80s.
and so Eddie Money was coming to play the Orange County Fair. And upon the news of that, I just kept sort of a countdown, and I was so excited about Eddie Money coming to Orange County, California.
And meanwhile, the hosts are like, oh,
Stop
Eddie
it with that
Money,
already, would you?
MCR,
Right.
Sublime.
Red Hot Chili Peppers. So
That was basically a very brief impression of K-Rock.
that
for
was their
30 years.
playlist. Yeah. So word gets back to Eddie Money and his wife / manager that this kid is talking all about you on this cool radio station. What's going on? So they catch wind, and Eddie calls in, and we do an interview with him, and he's very funny and entertaining, and we fall in love. And he said, Ralph, what I want to do is when I'm going to be at the Orange County Fair, I want you to come out on stage with me, and we're going to do a duet together.
The fuck?
And I'm like,
that's so money.
This
Literally.
is another dream come true moment for young Ralph Garman.
And a dude who like manifested that simply by being real.
Yes.
Like you weren't on the radio going like, I don't like
this wasn't
guy.
a manufactured love for this
You were
guy.
like,
I love
fucking
his
legit
music.
love Eddie Money.
Yes. And so just that the megaphone that I had with that story reached the man, and he offered to do a duet with me. And I'm like, hell yeah.
That sounds like 2 tickets to paradise right there.
Indeed. So I go down there. I meet with the guy. We're in his rock and roll tour bus, and we sit down with his acoustic guitar, and we work out I Want to Be a Rock and Roll Star, one of my favorite songs of his, and we're going to do a duet of that. And we work out the different parts, and he's funny, and we're having a blast, and this is really exciting. So he says to me, I close, of course, with 2 tickets. He said, so right after that, I'm going to bring you out on stage for what will be the final encore, and then we'll do Want to Be a Rock and Roll Star, and then we'll say goodnight. And I'm like, this is great. So when you hear me launch into 2 tickets, get into the wings, and then when I'm done, come on out and join me on stage. I was like, you got it, Eddie. So I'm standing there and I'm watching the concert, and he launches into 2 tickets for Paradise. So I make my way around into the wings, and I'm standing there, and he's doing 2 tickets, and he says, that's it. Thank you, Orange County. Good night. And he exits off the stage in the opposite direction into the wings as I'm slowly entering onto the stage from the wings, waiting I was waiting for him to turn around and come back on.
Like an encore kind of thing. Like
Right.
he left the stage so he'd come back.
And it was about when I got about halfway out onto the stage, I realized he's not coming back.
Oh my God.
And the lights come up and the roadies come out and they start cleaning up the stage, and I'm standing there on the stage.
And there are people in the audience going like, here comes the Garmin part.
Well, some people knew.
Presumably.
Because they were listeners to the show. And some people were like, what the hell? What's that guy doing up there? Whatever. And then
That roadie's not working.
yeah, right. He's just standing there looking confused. So I slink back off the stage and I work my way backstage to his tour bus. And as I'm approaching the tour bus, I can hear his wife manager screaming at him with the top of her lungs, saying, what is fucking wrong with you? It's K-Rock, you dumbass. You know how much free publicity that's worth? And you fucked it up. You didn't bring the guy out. And it's like, I forgot. I just went into, sense memory. It's just muscle memory. I just did the song and that's the last song. I just walked off. I'm sorry. I forgot. So I knock on the door and she opens it up and she's apologizing profusely, and he is
like, oh my God,
apologizing.
please don't destroy my husband's career.
I think that's what they were worried about. But of course, it became a much more entertaining story on the radio than if I had actually gone on and sang with him. But it established a lifelong, not friendship, but an association that I saw him several times after that, and he knew exactly who I was and apologized all over again. And I went to see him at a place called the Canyon Club up in Agora, up north of Los Angeles here. Went to that show. He brought me backstage, introduced me to his daughter. I mean, every time I saw him after that, he couldn't have been more friendly and more apologetic about what had happened. But yeah, that's my brush with greatness with singing on stage with Eddie Money.
Eddie Money and Ralph Small Change.
Ain't that the truth?
That's the feature flick, man. That's how we win some Oscars. You play yourself, and you play yourself as a young man, like in The Five Bloods. So it's you.
And they're gonna
young
digitally young me up.
No, not at all. It's just
they're gonna Irishman me.
No, it's a conceit. The whole audience goes with like, hey, 17.
No, I want the Irishman treatment.
All right, we'll spend
me young and beautiful.
We'll spend a little money, and then well, that's a lot of money. We're not going to do that, Ralph. You're going to have
What
to
if I
agree to
sit
play
down
you.
with Eddie Money in an interrogation room and he confesses crimes to me while I sit there nodding?
Are you
What if we
wearing
do
a
that
costume?
Yes. I'm wearing a
Done and done.
cheerleader's outfit so you can recognize me.
Then I know which one's
Exactly.
which. You're the
With a
good
big
guy.
R on my chest so you'll know who I am.
Oh, my God.
We'll
If
put
I'm
him
a-
EM.
If I'm a studio exec, I'm handing you a pile of money right now because I'm like, that's clear, understandable storytelling. Everyone will enjoy that.
Everybody's labeled.
I just want all my actors and actresses to look like my Mego dolls.
To wear name tags.
Yes. Tell
Hello,
me.
my name is.
It explains so much about me now.
Oh, man.
This show is like doing deep therapy because I'm like,
really is an unlock song.
it really is like, this is why I'm the way I am because I watch this all the time and they normalized a fake world. What everyone else was seeing was camp and what I was seeing was like,
blueprint for reality.
yes, that's what's shocking is like, people are like, kid, you get this as a joke, right? I'm like, no, oh no, you're absolutely wrong.
I want to build a world that follows along in this premise.
In the 60s, everything looked like it did in the 50s. I mean,
It makes perfect
that
sense
just
to me.
stands to reason, which would track for me because I lived in the 70s and they had Happy Days, which also looked like the 50s.
See?
So fucking weird. Like, you know what? They robbed me of my 60s. I wasn't born, but like the 60s were taken away from me by Batman because all I saw truly was the 50s.
And then you just jumped a decade and went right to the 70s.
Fuck.
Yeah.
There's a whole missing period in there.
There is.
No wonder I like
We'll
them.
get to the 60s in the third season. They get very 60s on this show.
In what way?
Well, there's a bunch of hippies that show up and Louis the Lilac.
Robin wakes up in a room full of fucking like a love-in. Bunch of
No.
fucking hippies laying around.
No, Louis the Lilac gives out poison flowers to try to kill all the hippies. And it's very 60s, very 60s centric at that
Are you
point.
serious?
Yeah.
Like, so he wants to kill the hippies?
Yeah.
And that was Milton Berle?
Yeah.
Milton Berle's like, I'd like to kill some of them with my gigantic cock. I'm going to fucking destroy them. How about that be the supervillain and I'll be the sidekick?
Louis the Lycock.
You just cut down there. You show a fucking close-up of my fucking coiled snake of a dick, my legendarily bat pole of a cock. And then I'll do a voiceover for it with a funny voice. I'll do it in a dress.
I hated those fucking episodes.
Louis the Lilac?
Ugh.
Why?
Because Burl's trying to be a badass. He's like playing it straight. He's like one of the only actors who didn't get the joke. The funniest guy probably ever cast on the show was trying to be intimidating.
He's not
with his
camping it up.
performance. No.
How weird.
I know. He doesn't do a voice or a character or anything. He's just like, I'm going to get those kids. And he's just wearing a hat. I was like, for fuck's sake, do something.
Might have been like his people going, this is your chance, Milty.
This is
Like,
your Emmy.
Yeah.
This is your Emmy,
This is
Milty.
where you come back. This is where everything changes, man.
Yeah.
You can wind up in the movies like this time. Like
Start playing a villain.
dramatically. Yeah, do it. Bring it. He's like, I will. He's like, I'm throwing away all my instincts to be funny. And I'm just going to go dark, man. I'm bringing it as Louis the Lilac. I'm going to, what do I want to? I want to fucking kill hippies with flowers. It's how I fucking feel in real life. So I'm going to put something behind this performance.
Yeah, I'm playing this straight. I'm
Cut
going
to-
to get, I'm going to, when everyone else zigs, I'm going to zag.
Got to a young Ralph Garman going like, I don't believe it.
I don't buy it for a minute.
Yeah, his earnestness blows it. He's too thirsty for this. Look how hungry he is. He's begging for an Emmy.
Stinks of desperation and
Have
lilacs.
fun with it, you old man. I don't care how big your dick is. Your parents are like, he seems to know a lot about Uncle Milty.
He's really well versed in the history of television penises.
That's our boy.
Yep.
That is our boy, ladies and gentlemen. You can be proud of him because he knows a lot about Uncle Milty's dick. There is no caped commentaries. There is no Hollywood Babble-On. Let me tell you something. There is no reason in this reckless, insane world without the man sitting across from me. Give it up for Mr. Ralph Garman.
And I wouldn't be here in the Kev Cave without my bestest bat buddy, Babble brother, Mr. Kevin Smith.
This is like I fucking blew you, and the best you could come up with was like, he let me in today. Give it up for
This is
Kev.
the home
It's
for the
his
show.
house.
It's the home of the show.
He didn't prohibit me from entering.
Oh my God. It's never enough. Never enough praise.
Do me a
It's a
favor.
never ending thirst.
I need
for love
I need
and appreciation
You ain't
and
kidding.
attention.
Oh my God.
My God, it's never enough.
Anybody who's like, how do you get there? How do you do what you do? Ralph just explained it right there. Has nothing to do with talent. It's desperate for love and affection.
Just never-ending hunger for
Just do me
tell
a favor.
you love me.
I want you to play a very distinct role in this podcast. So can you come in a cheerleader outfit every week so I know exactly who you are?
I will. So you
Sometimes I look across and I'm like, who are you?
that
What are
guy?
you talking about? Why does he know so much about this show? There it is, folks.
Ugh.
Thank you for hanging out with us for Hollywood Babble-On. I'm Kevin Smith.
I'm Ralph Garman.
And that's Hollywood Babble-On for this week. That's how I do it. I'm Kevin Smith.
I'm Ralph Garman.
Babble the
Ralph Garman. Did you recognize me? I didn't change my shirt.
And that is Hollywood Babble-On for this week. This is the Charlie Kaufman ending of this episode where people are like, what's going on?
It's looping.
It ended 3 times. Like,
skipping.
something's wrong with my mind. It's not you, kids. It's us. That's Hollywood Babble-On for this week. I'm Kevin Smith.
I'm Ralph Garman.
Babble the fuck off. Good night, Hollywood.
This has been a production of Smodco Internet Radio. Sir, only at smodcast.com.